Hi, my name is Julia Ferland. I am a dairy farmer at Ferme Ferland et Frères in Compton. Between 2006 and 2009, production would go up and then go down. Sometimes we'd reach our goal, then it would go down again, and we didn't know why. When I would come into the freestall area, what I saw, what was striking that I didn't see in other farms, was that the cows occupying the stalls were never lying down. I figured, I probably always show up at the wrong time. They must. Maybe they came to push rations. The cows were disturbed. I always had that in the back of my mind. There were not a lot of older cows in the herd. There were more young cows, which means that our cows were not remaining in the herd. They were leaving. And we had a leg problem for sure, but what was it? I was doing a lot of treatments and also sending for the hoof trimmer. There probably was a noticeable lameness problem at Ferme Ferland. Was it the result of a ration problem, a comfort problem, or a foot rot problem? In 2011, at the Quebec Symposium on Dairy Cattle Health, Dr. Kramer was there to give a speech on lameness. I found his presentation really interesting, and I thought that he was really good. So I asked some university veterinarians for Dr. Kramer's contact information to call him and have him come to the farm. So what Dr. Kramer did was, he assessed everything, the condition of the barn, of the cows, he assessed lameness amongst our animals, and then he trimmed the hooves of a few cows and gave us a quick demonstration. At the end of the day, Dr. Kramer told us that the hoof trimming had not been done properly, that we trimmed too much out of the heel. So there, we had to change our way of doing it. Also, I was already handling the foot bath, but Dr. Kramer told us my dosage was incorrect. He then calculated the size of the foot bath and told me how much copper sulfate I had to use in the foot bath. In addition to the foot trimming issue, there was also a digital dermatitis problem. As a result of Dr. Kramer's visit, it was conclusive that we were dealing with two different issues. It wasn't the feed. It wasn't the case of ruminal acidosis. The problem really was a comfort issue, where the cows did not lie down enough, and also a digital dermatitis problem. So after all of that, the Ferland farm took things very seriously. They prepared a very thorough action plan to implement the recommendations made to improve cow comfort and address the digital dermatitis situation. Right away, we corrected the copper sulfate dosage use in the foot baths. That was easy. And then for the dry cows that we kept tied, and then the heifers once a month, I sprayed their feet for a week, something that I did not do before. There was also a comfort problem with tied cows, cows that are in transition, but also with lactating cows. We had to modify stalls, but he also told us that it would be best to go entirely freestall. But obviously, it is not something that can be done overnight.
The primary goal was to improve our stalls, and then we had to measure everything and find a way to accomplish this while spending as little as possible without changing everything.
For lactating cows in free stalls, we modified the stalls by raising the neck rail and also by removing a lower piece of railing across the stalls. And we had to cut out a piece of the wooden cross member because cows would hit their legs against it.
It took us a month to set everything up, to have the stalls redone, and also to relocate dry cows with more comfort.
Instead of putting sand down, we went to a neighbor who puts down a lot of straw, so we decided to use more straw. He also told us that if we didn't want to use sand, we could use mattresses, but that's also a big investment. We went with putting down more straw under the cows instead.
I talked with the neighbors, and they said the first thing you have to do is make the stalls more comfortable.
In the end, after making all those changes, we have much less lameness, digital dermatitis has almost disappeared, and production has improved. We saw an increase of 2 kilos of milk in very little time, in less than a month. To give you an idea, between April 2011 and September 2013, the Ferland farm has increased its production of corrected milk by 6 kilos. That is huge. It also explains why it was difficult to trigger lactation with only young cows. No matter what you do with replacement animals, a first calf, a second calf cow will produce milk. But really, the older cows are the ones that produce the most milk.